Yes.
Oh.
They'll be modified. Sunday.
Modify. Oh, they have the meetings together?
Yeah, it's all.
I saw him and Kate up there today.
Yeah.
I was up there twice. Neither for me.
Did you get it?
Yeah, it's just like inconclusive, but like it's not obvious to go in. But it might be like,
It-
it's something, it might be the growth rate, and then it would really show up.
Yeah.
So he was in a boot for much of last week and then was like kind of getting out of it, like. The boot.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
Should stay in.
We'll see.
Maybe when it's time for.
My hope is that he misses like preseason, but can enjoy the season. So we'll see.
Be fun.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited after the.
I feel like everybody does cross country.
All right, good evening, everybody. I will call to order this regular monthly meeting of the Village of Trumansburg Board of Trustees. Do we have any changes to the agenda? I have one addition under old business, which is some architectural, they technically call them contracts for agreement between owner and architect for the fire and EMS jets. Other than that, if there are no changes to the agenda, item number 3 is our consent agenda. We have abstracts of claims as well as meeting minutes from our July 13th meeting. Abstract of claims includes general fund abstract totaling $357,794.08. Water fund abstract totaling $108,236.30. And sewer fund abstract totaling $48,911.17. Someone like to move the consent agenda for approval?
So moved.
I'll second. Motion and a second. All in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Can we discuss just for a second?
Yep.
For that, there's an $80,500 fee in water fund.
Yep, that's
That for a payout for the loan.
the bond, yep,
The
one
bond.
of the bond payments.
Yeah, just want to
Due
make
in
sure.
September. Thank you, yes.
It's a big one.
Big
so-
number,
Yeah.
yes,
Wanted to just ask, double check.
yes.
All right, that's all. Cool.
Any other comments or need for clarification on either of the items in the consent agenda? Hearing none, then all in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Which brings us to item number 4. Lost my screen. Item number 4, first of 2 public hearings. This first one is a public hearing on draft local law number D2 of 2026, which is an amendment to our vehicle and traffic local law from 2016. This particular amendment would institute no parking effectively in front of the middle school on Wig Street. And so I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing on draft local law D2 of 2026. So move. Or second. Did you move that?
I'll move that, sure.
Trustee Carver seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And so now we are in our public hearing for draft local law D2 of 2026. If anyone online would like to comment, you'll have to use the raise hand feature. If anyone in person would like to comment on our draft local law regarding no parking during school hours in front of the middle school, please let me know. Sure, yes. But
So I have to do it twice to talk about South Street too? Yeah, okay.
unfortunately, just said on.
Parking on, well, during school hours, there's a tremendous amount of, in the morning and then in the evening when kids, the parents drop off their children and pick them up and telling them they're all in a hurry, every one of them. And so that's a little bit of a dangerous time, but also parking on Wig Street is really bad. Just tonight, walking here, there were 5 cars that were parked fully in the street. And so somebody that comes whipping around that corner, it might not end, too well. And they were parked right in front of the sign that says park off fully off the street, so that's a big problem in that area, especially if there's a school activity or something, then they just park all over the place. So, and I would hope that somehow that this will be enforced so that the word goes out that you can't, you have to slow down and you just can't park wherever you want. And that maybe it should be advertised through the school as well, so they know. Because everybody's in such a rush, they don't even look at the signs. I personally, that's my personal opinion. It just was down the street. So, and I think there are a lot of children. When my kids were growing up, kids walked to school all the time. Then there was a time where hardly anybody walked, but now there's a bunch of kids in the neighborhood again. And they're all walking there, and it would make a safer environment to have it lowered. I wouldn't mind seeing all of Wig Street be reduced personally, but that wasn't the question.
Thanks, Shiz. Other public comment?
I think I need the mic raised up.
It's for the recording. Pull it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Conaway, the superintendent of Trumansburg Central School District. I've been a part of this community. This is now going on my 9th year. And I've had a keen eye on the traffic flow on South and Wig Street. And I just wanted to say, thank you for taking this into consideration and working with several folks here. Ultimately, want to make sure that all of our pedestrians and those that are on bikes are safe. And so that's why we put forward from the district the consideration for 2 things. The property that's going up on Wake Street in front of the middle school, once it hits Truman Street, that is a district property. And we certainly have a reduced speed zone there, but not lining up on Wake Street in front of the middle school. Also, the second consideration is we're looking for standing only, no parking during those critical hours, which has really created a bottleneck, and it's hard to see pedestrians going into the middle school. So that's really the primary reason there. We'd like to limit the parking there to make sure it's safe for all traffic flow and certainly our students. So thank you again for your partnership and taking this into consideration.
I am Jim Milty. I am from Shermansburg originally, but I live outside the village and have children in the school district. For probably the past 7 years or so, I've had a student in the middle school, and I currently have one. And I observe that especially this year, something has changed where many parents feel that they can park their car in front of the middle school, thinking they can avoid some congestion coming out onto Main Street by taking a quick left turn on Truman Street. And they park their car and walk their children to the elementary school. Very fine intentions and a nice thing to do. But what it does do is if you have 3 or 4 parents who may be doing that, parents who are accustomed to just pulling over and dropping their kids off a kiss and go type of thing, it's too late for them to swing around and go to the middle school loop. That I've seen parents stop their car in the middle of the street, sort of like double park, and then kids get out, not just only from the passenger side, but from the driver's side, causing potentially children to get hurt. And there are times during the school year where the sun is rising at 7:45 and it's blinding. And so I hope that the village will be proactive in somehow limiting cars from parking or even idling for a long time during those critical drop-off and pickup times for all children's pedestrian safety. But that turn onto Truman Street, and I know that's not necessarily on today's agenda, that little street doesn't have a raised sidewalk. And it has just a lightly painted white strip that would give a very narrow walkway. And there are students that and families who do use that little area that if you have even the lightest coating of snow, that line is gone. And if you're walking with more than two people and they're walking in tandem, you're already walking on the street. And people are in a hurry. They are usually not coming to school, going 15 miles per hour. So it is, again, something that should be looked into. Could there be a way to make that sidewalk raised and have some safety concerns for pedestrians a little bit more narrow than one person? And then the last thing is, it's my understanding that that area in front of Russell I. Doig Middle School is property of the village, but during the winter, when we have snow, that's not plowed. And so it stays unplowed. And then those parents who are accustomed to the kiss and go method can't pull into there. So they're stopping in the middle of the street and letting their kids out. So hopefully the village could be able to plow snow from in front of the middle school that is the village property. And thank you for your consideration.
Any other comment on proposed local law D2 of 2026? This would institute no parking during school hours on school days on that small section of Wig Street in front of the middle school. Okay, see if anyone online raises a hand. Not seeing any. You don't use Zoom a lot and you're looking for the raise hand button, it's under React, and I don't know why they put it there. At least it was under React last time. Hey, if there's no additional comment on local law D2 of 2026, I would entertain a motion to close our public hearing on local law D2 2026.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Just thinking to myself. I think we'll consider these together after the second public hearing. Next public hearing we have scheduled is to consider, or it's for a local law which would reduce speed limits on Wake Street and a section of South Street, which are considered to be in a school zone. We would be reducing the speed to 20 miles an hour. I'm sorry, to 15 miles an hour on Wig Street from South Street to the school. And then on South Street from Crescent Way to Wig Street. That speed reduction would be to 20 miles an hour. State law limits where we can reduce speed limits under 25. School zones being one. The entrance to, for anyone keeping track at home, the entrance to the school next to the Historical Society is considered school property, as is the Historical Society itself, so that is technically adjacent to a school zone, that section of South Street. And so that is the change we are considering, and so I would entertain a motion to open the public hearing to receive comment on draft local law D3 of 2026. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
And we are now in our public hearing for draft local law D3 2026. If anyone would like to comment on speed reduction in those areas.
About that too. It's amazing how fast people go on South Street. It's shocking sometimes. It's particularly later in night, not that school children are there. But there are people that go 60 miles an hour down South Street, and it's just really a dangerous situation. So any reduction and enforcement of that reduction would be greatly appreciated, I think, by everybody who lives on South Street.
Excellent. Other comments?
So is it safe to assume that the section from Main Street to Wake Street is not under your,
That's correct.
okay, yeah, because that's an area where lots of kids are crossing. Okay.
Don't we have a traffic person there? Up on that end anymore?
No.
Oh, we don't.
They're at Wigan South.
Oh, okay. It's what I thought.
Other
Yeah.
comments?
This was just stop sign.
Other comments on draft local law D3 2026? Give it a minute just in case anyone comes up with a comment or a question. Well, it's August, so we would be targeting first week of September.
Okay, is Truman Street already 15 miles per hour?
It's not,
I believe it's 20.
it's 25.
Is this what we're? And I apologize, I failed to mention Truman is also in the local.
Okay, so
It is.
Truman Street, that is
Truman's
that very short street.
We-
Truman's
Hopefully
in the
will be in
proposed
that.
amendment.
Very good.
Yes, yes. Forgot that we added it.
Yeah, so just to clarify, we would have our 20-mile-an-hour school zone speed limit on Main Street, which is actually set by DOT. We would be lowering Truman to 15, Wig from Truman to South to 15, and then south from Wig to Crescent Way to 20. During school hours only, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on school days. Any other comments or questions? Another fun intricacy of state law. If there are no, I'm speaking slowly on purpose, other questions or comments on proposed local law D3 2026, I would then entertain a motion to close our public hearing on draft local law D3 2026. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So unless anyone on the board heard anything that makes them want to make any amendments to the local laws as presented, if we did make any substantive changes to the proposed laws, then we need to have a new public hearing on it. But if not, then we can consider them. So there's any thoughts or conversation or discussion that we wanted to have first?
I think it's just worth reiterating the reason we're focused on these streets is because of I think you kind of said this, but just I'll say it again. the closeness to a school, so we're limited at how far away from a school property we can change a speed zone for a school zone, which is why that front part of Wake Street actually is too far outside for us to unfortunately capture it. But we're able to do what we can.
Right, the section of South Street from Main to Wig is technically. In the infinite wisdom of our friends in Albany, is technically not in a school zone. We could put a speed bump there, but that would be an entirely different conversation that, yeah. So we're using the entrance, we're using the Schoolhouse Lane entrance on South Street of the Historical Society as our point of measurement for the school zone on South Street. And then, of course, the main entrance to the school at Delaney Drive is the point of reference for Main Street. Any other thoughts?
I think we did get a written in comment about the difference of the 20 miles per hour on East Main Street. So I just wanted to kind of comment on that. We do want to deter people from speeding and really slowing down for students. So, 20 miles per hour or even having the signs really does do that on a street, on a street that is pretty congested compared to other smaller streets on the village. Which is why we did not really consider moving it to 15 miles per hour like the other streets. And then also there really is a large gap when you look at the tickets written, anything above 10 miles per hour over the speed limit does get point deduction and a much greater fine. Which if we did reduce it to 15 miles per hour, I think would not be helpful for the residents that live here.
Yeah, any change to the school zone speed limit on Main Street would unfortunately require DOT approval. But Southwick and Truman are up to us. Okay. If there's no other comment, then I would entertain a motion. We'll do these one at a time. I would entertain a motion to approve and adopt local law D2 of 2026, which is an adoption of no parking during the school hours on school days on Wake Street in front of the middle school. If someone would like to move that.
So moved.
Second.
Additional comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? It passes. Next, I would then entertain a motion to adopt and approve or approve and adopt local law D3 2026 with the aforementioned changes to school zone speed limits on Truman, Wig, and South Streets. If someone would like to move that.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional comments or questions from the board? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? And it passes. All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. We will
Thank you.
have Dusty.
Yeah, I'm talking with Lester tomorrow. I already gave a heads up, so he'll be ordering signs and working on getting them up.
Have those up before school starts a week late this year. So.
And during that time, I have talked to Chief Nelson and he is planning to have someone out there so that people actually recognize that there is a school limit reduction in those areas. So whenever school starts.
When the capital project paves that spot in front of the middle school, are you going to stripe it?
Good question. We're working on some of those finer details right now. That's marked for June of 2027 or the 28th. All the prior times. Well,
Yeah. Be easy to plow when it's paved. Gravel makes it difficult to plow now.
And for those folks who do want to park their car and walk their children to elementary school, there should be ample parking just to the other side of Truman Street. So that they will be able to do that, but not in front of the
That's-
school. And any signage that would encourage public to kiss and go, or this is a drop off, rather than standing there idling for a long time, because it's my understanding that even in the elementary school drop off, they don't for they don't want this are idling also because classroom windows might be open if they don't want to have exhaustion regards coming into the building. But that I'm sure and I'm hoping that the village will have suitable signing for that, because it's not.
Yeah, we can work on signage. I mean, the initial signage would say no parking. Time,
During those hours, yeah.
right, but if
During
you
the
want
hours,
additional, drop off only, we can figure something out. Once the posts are up, then we can, Jim can draw them on cardboard. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Item number 6 is our first public comment period. We have two now, one and one at the end of the meeting. This is for any member of the public to comment on anything that they would like relative to anything on the agenda or not. I would ask, and again, if you're online and have public comment, please use the raise hand feature so I can unmute you. I would ask that you keep it to the 3 to 4 minute range so that everyone has a chance to comment. If there is public comment, please let me know.
Just,
Okay.
good evening, members of the board. My name's Rose Hilbert, and I'm the owner of the Inn and Gothic East Country Hotel and Spa at 112 and 118 Main Street, right around the corner from the roads that we were just speaking of. This November marks 33 years of living on this property and raising my daughter, this is Rachel, and serving our community. Over the 3 decades, I've expanded from a 4-room B&B into an 8-guest suite and a spa. However, every year I have been ongoing flooding issues. In the last 5 years, I've experienced severe flooding occurring 2 to 3 times per month. Has put an unreasonable burden on my property, my business, and my family. It's also our home. As outlined in the letter that I sent to to your attorney about the flooding situation, there are 3 sources of that water that comes into the properties 112 and 118. One of them sources is surface water sheeting that has 4 separate sections on your map that you developed from your engineer that literally land all the water at 118, starting right at the main street and the sidewalk where the kids walk, and that section right there. The school property runoff is less, but it's where you'll see the drain where right now it has mulch from the playground all over the drain. And when that gets clogged, the water comes across and then dumps into 118 as well. And the last is Truman Street catch basin pipe, which carries public stormwater beneath Truman Street across neighboring properties and through my lot, 2 lots, towards Main Street at the main catch basin there. There are 2 catch basins there. One is by the maple tree. It's a very primitive one, and it just covers surface water. And then the other one by the bus stop is the larger one. I was told recently that the village claims it does not own this pipe that goes from Truman to the bus stop catch basin. With respect, that logic doesn't hold. A public catch basin collecting street runoff 12 to 15 feet deep cannot function without an outlet pipe. it is unfeasible to suggest a private homeowner excavated a public street, Truman, to install municipal stormwater infrastructure crossing 3 properties and then attaching it to the next catch basin by the school bus stop. This issue has gotten really more serious in a recent storm in July, in the beginning of July. We had a power outage during a really heavy storm. And all 5 of my sub pumps that maintain my basements were out of power. And the water from my basement floor of one of them, where the spa is 10 foot deep, that well. And I have warning systems that tell me when the water's increasing in there. And at 6 p.m., it hit the first level. And I had to go down with 2 buckets leaning into a manhole well, pulling out water, walking up the stairs and going out my door and throwing it outside. And I did that till 11 p.m. that night. So it's 5 hours of bailing water. I'm 66 years old. I can't sustain this. I can't do that. And so if I had left, the water would have risen, flooded the thing, the whole spa. The rain stopped at 8 p.m., but the water kept coming because of the water sitting in that property next to that 118 house. It continues to flow and fill up that. So at 11 p.m., I gave up. And I was lucky as I was leaving, the power came back on and everything went back to functioning. But I'm pumping all this water that doesn't come from my gutters or from anywhere else. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on pumps, drain tiles, excavation, my own smaller versions of catch basins, but no single business or homeowner should be expected to absorb runoff from an entire drainage district. Tonight, I'm respectfully asking the village to take 3 clear actions: repair or replace the drainage pipe running from the Truman Street catch basin across our properties to the Main Street catch basin by the school bus stop. That includes Ed Brashear's property as well. That's the first one that it crosses by Truman Street. The second thing is to install a proper service drainage system to capture the sheeting runoff before it reaches private properties like my own. And the third one is to unclog or replace the interconnecting pipes between the 2 Main Street catch basins so water can flow freely out of the 18 East Main Street property and run over to the catch basin. It is clogged with all kinds of things. Thank you for reviewing these materials in advance. I sent you all emails. Did everyone get them?
Yes.
And were you able to look at the videos? The video that was there, it was a Google Doc.
We received them, yeah.
Were you able to view them? View the video?
We got the videos. Yes.
It was one video. Did everyone get that video and open it up to look at it?
I think we've received several videos from all over the village, so it would have been included with all of those.
This is a
updates
recent
as well.
email I sent out
Right.
in a week. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time. And I hope that the letter that I've written from my lawyer to your lawyer, it's been more than 45 days. Has everyone looked at that letter?
We've received it.
Yeah. So I would like a response from that as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Hi, I'm Rachel Aslin. I'm the county legislator for our district. I just have 2 quick updates regarding the budget. The first is that the county just launched a Understanding Your County Budget, which is a 4-part series with the goal of explaining the county budget in plain language. So this will be on the county website, and I'll share the information with Jessica so it can go into the village update. There'll be a new part of the series each week leading up to when administration presents the recommended budget in the beginning of September. And it will go over where the different sources of revenue comes from. So in addition to property tax, the process for developing the budget, and then how the property tax revenue is divided amongst all the different government entities. And so there's also some graphics that I'll share too, if that can go out as well. And it describes, for each dollar collected for property tax, how it's divided up amongst, the school districts and towns or villages and the county. And then also for every dollar, how that's spent at the county level. And then as far as the budget process, we will receive our presentation with the recommended budget in the beginning of September. And kind of as each week goes on, we get slightly different information about what to expect from that. When all of the requests came in from all the departments, if everything had been accepted, it would have meant a tax levy increase of 30%. So we're coming down from that. And but the main drivers for the increasing costs are personnel with regards to salary, as well as health insurance and retirement contributions, which are increasing in cost. Some major capital investments that are coming online, including a number of large bridge projects. Unfortunately, the Podunk Road Bridge is not scheduled for 2027, but hopefully that will be soon. And then the other two issues with the county budget are that in the past, or at least between 2021 and 2026, the county relied heavily on ARPA funds and also using fund balance to reduce the tax levy. And so those options are not available to us anymore. The ARPA funds are gone, and our fund balance is below the level that's set by county policy. So we won't be able to do that this year. I'm also happy to answer questions about the most recent report or anything else.
Do you know off the top of your head what the total proposed budget amount is?
We don't have a total proposed budget yet. So I think I'll get back to you because I don't want to misquote it. But yeah, we'll have an actual recommended budget September 1st. 265, I think, or plus or minus. Great.
Any other public comment?
Excused.
You can go anytime you want. Any other public comment? If not. Don't think anyone has their hand up. There's another public comment period at the end of the meeting, if anyone makes it that far. All right, thanks everybody. Rose, will you be sharing that?
I'll give it to Jess.
Is it okay with you if we share it with the school? Just because.
This school wants it out there. I've met with people. Thank you for asking.
Reports from this board. Hi, Jim.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
you.
Hi. We have need of our second meeting on the 24th. That we know of.
I'm not expecting anything that'll need it.
Don't think so.
I won't be here.
March. Somebody's getting their knee done.
Yeah,
You sure you don't want a meeting?
I'd rather.
It's not for me.
Right.
That's the word. No.
Dan is getting his knee.
Oh, you
done.
definitely want a meeting. Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead, Jess, and notice cancellation of our August 24th meeting. And that's all I have for me, other than what we added to old business. Anything from fire, Marcia?
Just 59 calls last month and it was mostly weather related, even though the calls every month do seem to keep trickling up there. The golf tournament was a success and they raised some money for the company, so that was great. And that's pretty much all I have.
Ben, EMS Youth and Street Tree.
Well, I apologize first of all for not being here last month, which was a very EMS heavy meeting. So thank you all for handling that without
I
me.
even sat in your spot.
It's good just for for the weight of the room aesthetically. Symmetry is important, but I don't have much this month, so I'll just go through the report and that's it. So mutual aid calls last month 12, Covert 28, Hector 9, Town of Ulysses 26, and Village of Trumansburg 29. You may note that that is different than normal. So rather than being broken out by municipality, it's just the billing district. But if there's more, right, I know like frequently the city is of particular interest. So if there's anything else you want, just let me know. I can pull that out. But that is all I have for a report.
Okay. Right along the DPW water sewer CPTR and farmers market.
Sure. The probably easy thing to do is there are 2 quotes in the Dropbox, 7C1 and 2. Or 7C and 7C1. There are we have 2 sanitary sewer pump stations in the village. They are both in need of a pump repair. This would be the backup pump for each, needs some repair. And so there's 2 quotes. They look remarkably similar because they're repairing the same thing in 2 different locations. They in them have, they're a little confusing to read. There's 2 different quotes. One is to repair and one is to replace. We only need to do one of those 2 things, and the recommendation is to repair. So the DPW, or I guess Camden, is really looking for us to approve these so that they can look on repair. So I would propose that we accept both quotes, each for $7,519 each, to come out of, I'm assuming, sewer contractual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to repair 2 sewer pump station pumps. Comments, questions, concerns? None, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions.
The only other thing is not an action per se, but just to start us thinking about the conversation of hiring another DPW employee. This is coming out of, we had 2 temporary summer employees. One wasn't particularly working out and they gave notice. The other is a college student and going back to the university in a week or so, which leaves the DPW back down at 3 with one of their folks out injured for an indeterminate amount of time. I don't know if Dusty was able to talk to you at all about what that might look like. This is still us kind of like thinking out ahead and just starting an early conversation, but my inclination is I don't know when that 4th person will return. And I'm starting to think that the right call is to think about hiring that kind of 4th and a half, 5th employee that we've always talked about, but never really pulled the trigger on. We'd have to figure out how it works within budget based on what other things are going on. So that's why I wanted Dusty to start a conversation with you.
You can start a conversation.
Okay.
I have great concerns at this point, depending on what level of employee you hire.
Right.
Because we have some savings that were unexpected, the payments outflow
Okay.
change depending on when you hire.
Right.
But we do see, which it takes a little while to get them to work out there and people to apply.
Yeah. Right. So I wanted to have them start thinking about this sooner rather than later, thinking about what the right kind of person is. Dusty is noticing how much water work was being covered. that's now on his plate and thinking maybe someone who's got more specific water experience that could just kind of run with that stuff might be useful.
Do we need someone with a water license or is that not necessary?
Everyone would eventually gets one, so that's already kind of a
Okay.
situation, but I think where, you know, some of the newer hires, you know, he can say, go fix this, and they're like, okay, but I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna have to FaceTime you when I'm down there.
Right.
To figure it out, and they're learning and they're writing down procedures and they're starting to build some knowledge there. And also it'd be really great if someone came in who'd already kind of knew their way around a water house, so. I want them to think about the shape of the role, list it. We know how long it can take to get it out there, get people to actually apply. So I'm kind of wanting them to start on the earlier side. But I wanted to kind of hear if there was any early concerns, questions from the board before we really kind of go down that route. And I want to obviously hear the kind of financial
Yeah.
side as well.
It's necessary. Considering the circumstances, certainly.
It's going to be a real problem by winter,
Uh-huh.
by snow time for sure.
Oh, and by leaf time.
They're concerned.
I think they would, I think it's slightly less, but they would like. They will be able to handle it, but they won't be able to really get anything else done.
Just no leaf pickup.
Or.
For one
or,
season.
you know, Yeah, I mean, or kind of,
My goodness.
right, or leaf pickup will be much slower, and so we'll have to let people know, but that doesn't always help them, because then if it piles up too much, then you're. Just
Right, then
doing-
you're just double duty.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's like when you let your lawn grow too long, it doesn't actually.
Keep
help
your
you.
leaves on your lawn, people.
It's good compost for your grass.
Good composting.
So,
That. It would be a during the project, we've seen.
Yeah.
let's pull that together, so you can all feel good about it.
that'd be great, yeah.
I think it's fairly straightforward. I don't know. It's unfortunate.
It is
There's always
yeah.
feels like the inevitable pull of, I mean, it sounds like it's happening at the county, you know, that staffing just costs money. And
It's, well, in this
every,
case.
every change feels like.
In
it
this case,
goes
a
in
new
one
hire is
direction.
almost certainly gonna cost less money than the other employee. However,
Well, yeah,
there's still the open question of maybe they want to return at some point, and we'll have to figure that out, but it
Right.
looks like that's quite a far way out if it ever comes around, and so this is kind of us hedging that, like, that's unlikely to come around anytime soon, and
it really is far though.
it looks like it might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've been on team 5 employees for several years now, so I think. The department has 5 full-time employees worth of work.
Yeah.
And they've been doing 5 people's worth of work with 4 plus summer help. So if we can stagger our way back towards 5 without absorbing it all in a single budget year, that's ideal. But I don't think we should be trying to necessarily stay at 4. We should be evolving to 5 anyway.
I think it's a good point that if the other person was gonna come back, it would be kind of part-time in my mind, or it might be, you could look at them as summer help and then eventually, I don't know, we figure it out, but I think we at least get to 4 full-time people. And then we can figure
Well, if
out,
he does come back and is able to get back to a lot of the water side, then that's helpful, and then we need
Yeah.
4 full-time for the needs.
that's another way of doing it. So I think there's ways, I'm not too terribly worried that we get into a difficult position at some point down the road, so. We'll at least start there and then see where we can take it from. You know, once they got job description and they start finding people, hopefully.
Right, so August is August ends our first quarter, so I mean, we're not gonna be hiring till. Best case, we wouldn't hire until September, probably more like October.
It's kind of,
So
I guess, yeah.
It's already August.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I had for my report.
before we go to police, I would be remiss if I didn't. For those who may not have seen yet, I would be remiss if I didn't make note of the fact that we dedicated the sign crafted by Duran Van Dorn in honor of former DPW Supervisor Bruce Van. We dedicated that at the farmer's market last week. And thank you once again to the Van family for being there, and it's a fitting tribute, I believe. It's a fitting tribute to Bruce, who did so much for the village. So just wanted to make note of that. Police, Joanna.
Yes. So for July, there were 263 calls. No calls outside of the village. There were 2 thefts, 1 trespassing, 6 domestic disputes, 1 psychiatric mental health. 5 harassments, 2 arrests, and 2 motor vehicle accident investigations. Grassroots also took place at that time, and although our police is strictly in the area of the village, they had no issues and no calls, so it was pretty quiet this year. As for non-criminal investigations, there were 61 property checks, 86 traffic stops, with 47 being tickets. There were far less ticketed cars this year at Grassroots as well. And 42, okay, I said that. And then 19 inquiries, background applications. That is that. And then the item that I have here is a purchase for a new vehicle. So let me get the notes out from the last vehicle. So the Dodge Charger, so just this year, the Dodge Charger was sent into the shop 4 times. This last time it was a major transmission issue, and Chief Nelson decided not to put any more money into that car. So it's already been decommissioned because you can't use it. And it was in the shop for more than a month, I think. So his request is to get a new car, which would be an electric vehicle, the 2027. There are 3 quotes. And they are all fairly equal. They're $50,000, completely outfitted. I think my concern would be, or not really concern, but I guess my question would be, how do we deal with the charging of the car using the charging station? How would, I guess, financially, how would that work out? We're not buying gas. We wouldn't be buying gas anymore. It would be electricity. Yeah, so his request is electric vehicle. There are funds. I asked Jessica to pull the numbers for me, so let me get those real quick. Did not rewrite them down, so I have to look for them. Thank you. I got it. Okay. So in the police vehicle reserve, currently we have 42,673. In the police equipment reserve, we have 10,000. And then in the and I think this police equipment reserve would be for is that a different one? So there's 8,000 in a second equipment, but I don't know if that's
It's a straight up budget. So my understanding is he wanted to use 42,000 from the vehicle reserve up to 10,000 from the equipment reserve. And then to use 8,000 from the regular equipment line, and ask this board, after you deem the charger of no further use, to put the sale of that back into that budget.
Thank you.
Say that differently. not
Yes,
bad.
no, that made
Okay.
perfect sense.
Is that the entire balance of the vehicle reserve?
For the police, 42,000.
Did he get anything other than electric vehicle quoted?
There are 3 quotes. So one is the electric vehicle. Let me pull it up real quick. And then the 2, there was a 2025 vehicle.
Let's see, it's 2027.
I think the first one is the electric EV. The second one is a Durango, all-wheel drive, and that one comes out to 48. And then the third one, is it also, it's a Chevy Blazer, also an EV. Is this the 2027 one?
That's 25 is the last one.
Okay, the 2025 is the last one. And that one is at 47. And I feel like he said that he would get 8,000 back for the current vehicle.
How many miles does he put on those vehicles a year?
I did not ask. It was a lot though.
The fuel cost is pretty high, and I have. Okay,
I'm just concerned mileage wise, like where does he go? Like how, it's not just village. I mean, does he do do we ever do transports? Do we ever have to take him a long way? Do we ever? No.
Use one of the
No.
other vehicles.
We'd
They,
use one of the other vehicles for that?
yeah, they are, the vehicles that we currently use only they do stay within the village, and if they go outside of that, it doesn't go beyond. It doesn't go very far. I mean, I don't think it even goes to it.
I've seen him in Ithaca. They do go.
It's true, but
So I have so many thoughts right now. I'm trying to be very brief. I think for a long time I've said we have too many police cars, so I am conceptually, I think this is over. It's just wildly unnecessary. That said, I don't intend to oppose this. I use the budget time as that time once that policy is set. So I just want to be clear about that, that's sort of where I am. I do think there being a potential for an EV here makes me feel complicated, because that feels very appealing. And very cool. I would say of the two, it would probably be worth getting the newer one because the warranty is presumably worth it in this case. But my concern is if they're regularly charging if they're using the high-speed charging, it may cause pretty dramatic demand charges and higher utility charges for us. I'm not exactly sure how to do the analysis of because if they can charge overnight at the level 2 charger, then it's great. We would unequivocally save, a fair amount of money. But if they're using the fast charger on what presumably is a pretty high use thing regularly, we will end up with commercial energy charges, and it could be kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
Now that said, if we're talking about 250 miles in a day, I don't think they're going to run into that issue. But like with police vehicles, you always have that thing where you kind of want to be topped off kind of all the time, right? You don't want to be stuck. So I'm not sure how to navigate. I think that would be worth thinking through really carefully.
yeah, I think so. We did talk about that today, is what kind of policy would be set on an electric vehicle, because we have no idea. And then Chief Nelson has actually corresponded, gone back and forth with Ithaca Police, because they do have EVs, to get a better understanding of what that would be, especially since most of the time they're idle. It's not even that they're driving as much, is that the car is idle. So
Sure.
I mean, I'm not opposed to waiting either. If we do have enough vehicles, and then officers as well.
Chief has done a good job with his research since he's been here. I think if he's done the research and he's convinced it makes sense for the department and our usage, then it's really just a matter of him setting the policy for the officers of, right, under normal abnormal circumstances will be what they are, but under normal circumstances, plugging it overnight on the regular charger.
Yeah.
And then whoever comes in first, because not everybody uses all the vehicles, right? So whoever's assigned to use that vehicle when they come in.
Or if they're switching, they could use the level 2 charger during the day too, and go that way. My concern is less that it wouldn't work for the department. I'm sure he could make it work, but just that his plan might cost us more in energy than we're expecting, right? If he's driving us into the realm of commercial energy charges, it could be a big deal. And I just don't know, like, I'm more raising this as a concern that he probably isn't aware of, because demand charges are kind of this weird wonky thing, but
Yeah.
We just want to let him know that fast charging, kind of emergency only, would be preferable. Level 2
So
charging.
fast charging is, so what is here?
both.
Oh, okay.
He could totally do both. The only problem, I think, the only instance where this would be a problem is if they were coming in and doing fast charging, you know,
Constantly.
every day,
Okay.
or yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Basically, the way demand charges work are your peak usage sets your overall cost. So if your peak is really high, you get like the factory rate for electricity, which tends to be quite high. And then all of your lower level usage uses that same rate. So it can be quite damaging if, like, in a day you go wild. And I'm not even an expert here. So I think, like, if we talk with Terry Carroll, who does all of the county's EV work and including the charging and like monitoring that stuff, he might be able to help us put together a plan, because, or even the sheriff's department, do you know, did they end up getting EVs? I know they were looking to get some.
That's who Joe's been talking about.
Well, the sheriff would be nice though, because it would be the county, so I know that Terry would be.
Oh, I see.
I know that, like, he's really actively involved in making that plan.
Do you know, the sheriff's department picked up a couple of these? I feel like I did.
Yeah, I know they were looking, I just
I
don't
feel like they
think
did
they did.
this one.
But anyway, I'm sure it's workable, but just something to flag for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know nothing about them, so.
And how
were
long
my
do you have to
questions
be
as well.
plugged in for?
Say,
Like it'd be hogging up a space that,
Level
We're-
2 is.
The chargers are not, so some of this data that you wanna have is available, like you can find
Yeah.
out more details, but the chargers are not all in use all the time ever.
no, I know they're not, but we still are we're just still working through this, right? We're still working through what our chargers do, how much action we're getting,
Oh,
how
sure,
much,
yeah.
you know?
yeah, I mean, that data, we can pull that. I think they're frequently empty. I don't think that would be a concern. And to charge the cars, like, from an operational point of view, charging the cars is very quick. They're parked here 90% of every day anyway.
Right.
I don't see that as an issue. I think the cost thing and making sure we navigate that really conscientiously is where I would flag it. That's like something to consider for.
You know, October's a year, right? Get a lot of. We're gonna look at a year's worth of data at this fall. Usage. Make sure our rates are good. That was the other thing we want to look at.
But there'll be some interesting maneuvering of how do they pay for an account, set it up, let's track it, the beginning question, which we can do. There's some.
My sense is my sense is it sounds like there are issues to work through, but they don't seem insurmountable. I would rather go this route and work through the issues and keep an eye on the right things and set the initial expectations of, level 3 charger only emergencies. See if we can work within that. If that becomes a problem in the conversation, I think we can work through it. So I'd be in favor of kind of trying it out and seeing how it works.
Yeah, or
It's
just
true,
make
if it
sure
doesn't
goes away.
work too, we can also sell them at a pretty good price as well.
I think we'd be okay.
And you're looking at replacing $400 full cost for that one. Oh.
I'm sure there is a savings there. Especially because they won't be sitting idling everywhere all the time.
Do they have to remain? How do they charge all the equipment that's inside the vehicle? I'm assuming when we idle out here, like when I'm here in the summer and the cars are running, I'm assuming the vehicles are running because the computers need the air conditioning on in the summer. And I'm assuming,
So it's the connection. This is a particular bone of contention for me. It's like the remote connection to the county dispatch system, which
Yeah.
evidently takes time to boot up.
Yeah,
But yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, that's also something we take into
real-time
consideration.
You have to have real-time uplink to film it.
Yeah. I mean, I assumed that was the reason, because you can't just shut the car off and everything just goes bam.
Correct. Yeah. And by the way, Joe and I looked into this years ago. I mean, it was God, you might have been police commissioner then. It was a long time ago, but it was like 10-15 grand to get just the battery pack, just to make that, so you didn't have to idle it. I mean, it was really infuriating.
So how
But
much
yes.
juice does it take up?
Well,
In
I
the
mean, this
car?
was quite some time ago.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much juice that takes up in the
It's-
car to keep all that equipment running too.
I think it's not a huge amount. I mean, it's just stabilizing. It's things that are already built into EVs, right? That just weren't at
Yeah.
that time.
Just,
Cause you can't run all that
Questions?
off a 12-volt car battery.
right,
Oh, yeah.
But when you're in an EV, the whole thing is the car battery.
right.
Mhm.
I don't know.
So are we looking, was Chief looking for us to approve something this evening, ideally, or this is like?
Yeah, that's a referendum.
So then I think, well, if he was, the only thing I heard, you mentioned maybe the 27 is where the,
That's pure gut. I mean, that's pure intuition. That's just my sense is that, you know, we may be valuing that warranty, right? If we're putting a lot of mileage on it and we're, you know, there is an element of this. I mean, I'm very confident. I know there's a lot of police departments that are using EVs. So I'm very confident in that, but still there's a little bit of risk averse piece in the back of my head that says that warranty is worth paying.
oh, this is, that.
I
no,
get,
he's asking.
so
he's
the
asking
other
for-
thing,
Sorry, he's asking for the 27. I thought he was asking for the 25.
the other
Oh.
thing that I should mention that I totally forgot is that the other vehicle has also been in and out of the shop several times. And is probably on its last leg as well.
I could win so many ways right now. It's very exciting for me.
We're at least a vehicle short, but what we should have is a police department. The only thing that's saving us is we don't have 2 full-time officers.
Yeah.
Kind of working at the same time, but
Way to make it depressing.
you don't like having 3 ambulances.
And that might get reduced as well, so. So yeah, so Chief is looking for, I guess to purchase this vehicle. So
To approve it.
I'm moving for the purchase of this vehicle.
I would second with the understanding that it's as Jess described in terms of where the finances come from. And is it a
Subject to permissive
Yeah,
referendum,
permissive.
just to reserves, please.
Yes, the permissive
Okay.
referendum appropriates 42,673 from the police vehicle reserve. Up to 10,000 from police equipment reserve. Subject to permissive referendum, so you've seen it.
So moved. Yes.
and I'll second.
You're saying, other comments or questions?
I'm super excited. Tell Jeff, thank you. I'm very happy that he looked into it. Last we talked about it was
He
years.
convinced me. I was not at all, but he convinced me. So,
$400 a month. Yes.
For one car, that's.
Also, never lose another car chase again. Is that a thing that happens at all? But it will never happen that.
See what this works out to. Be interesting to see what the usage is.
The data will be, I mean, one of the great things about EVs is that we'll be able to pull usage data. Then at a granular level that just doesn't
Seriously
exist.
charging.
45 right now, I think. Is that the right number?
So it's $45 per 100 kilowatt hours. Right,
Right.
so we would need 1,000 kilowatt hours a month
Yeah, which just
to equal our gas consumption. It's a lot.
can you pull that data like by user?
You
Yes.
can, so it's randomized. You don't know the specific user, but I'm sure with.
You could figure it out,
internally
right.
Figure that out, yeah.
That-
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But I don't mean just charging. I mean, the car itself, the data that it collects will be really interesting to see.
But we can, for instance, see habitual users, they have like an ID.
Yes.
But we can see that this car charges at this time, this is X,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see the time that the car charged. So one time, you know,
yeah, okay.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Did you actually vote yet?
No. Still in discussion. Other comments, questions?
I'm skeptical, so I'm gonna be a nay, but I know you're all gonna right, so that's okay. But I'm gonna be the skeptic on this one.
Comments? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the permissive referendum for allocation from two different reserve funds for the purchase of 2027 EV Chevy Blazer for the police department, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
Yep.
abstentions?
It's good for us. We don't do
Yes,
all the same all
yes.
the time.
I don't like this round table yes spent.
Yeah.
And I do have questions about it, so it'll be very interesting to see how it all pans out.
Yes, I mean, I still have a lot of questions about it too, so it was definitely a big discussion with Chief Nelson, just how is that policy gonna work? And, you know, usage, what is the optimal percentage for the car to actually work every day? So yeah, we'll definitely keep talking about it.
Yeah.
What else do I need?
Seeing the existing charger go for the sufficient and then request the sale of that charger get go back.
For the Dodge Charger. Yes. So I would like to deem the Dodge Charger, what's the wording again?
Of no further use.
Of no further use.
I would second that motion.
Comments or questions? Sending the Dodge Charger down the road.
And we can get something for that, right?
Yeah, I think he said something like
8,000.
6 or 8, yeah.
They're always optimistic.
I know that you have to approve that as a board. Or it's,
Technically, it's revenue to the general fund.
no, but they can ask for it to go back to the equipment fund specifically if the board approves it, like you did for some needed.
So it have to be a budget mod at some point.
They get a budget modification.
Yes.
Okay, so when I wait to
Because
see
the
what the
budget,
value is.
those lines are budgeted. So
Okay.
to move more, you'd effectively be moving more money into that line,
Yep,
Mhm.
not putting
Uh-huh.
it back.
Yes.
let's see what the sale is and see what the board's appetite is for that. Okay, great.
So we have a motion in the second to
Motion.
declare the Dodge Charger of no further use to the village. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, abstentions? Here we go.
Okay, so if you want specific, I'm like, I love spreadsheets, but I need clear direction, so if there's real numbers you want to see about things, you should ask. Or otherwise, I'm just.
Like, how much we sell it for?
No, for the use of the car, for
Oh.
EV stats.
Okay. Did I have anything else? I feel like I'm missing something, but
You most days.
I'm good for now.
Okay, if it comes back to you. Let me know.
Oh, yes.
The wheel went around.
Yes, so, topic of great discussion, is the grant from New York State, and how it's being awarded. The deadlines are coming up pretty soon. So the state has, expanded, I guess, the application process to include, I don't even know how to explain it, but it used to be one sheet where it was like, how much do you need? And the grant cannot be used for force. I don't know, basically for weapons, yes. And it has to be used for technology, and then you just signed it and you sent it in. So now this application is about 30 pages long. And each line item, it's based on a point system. And it is $100,000 that you can request for technology specific to the police department. The chief is going to go through the process to request those funds. The last time we did purchase, I can't think of the name right now, the license plate readers.
Flock.
Mhm.
Flock, yes, thank you. And this year, we are going to get some things that are needed within our department, which is things like portable radios, car radios, things that are currently out of date. So, and I don't have a full list of things, but that is the indication from the chief. And yeah, so the max amount is $100,000. I don't know how they award those funds. I'm guessing it'll be based on points from every single department within New York State that completes the grant. So we'll see how much of that money we actually receive. And that's it.
And no, the electric car does not count.
The electric car does not count.
He tried.
Good to think.
Okay. Clerk treasurer.
Okay, let's stick on the money tip. And so I've got a fire and EMS budget session set up with the department heads. On the 11th and 12th, just tomorrow and the next day. And then hopefully they are planned to meet with their commissioners. And so the goal is, of course, to have this for the mayor to have a budget to review on the 18th, so he has the weekend before not the August 24th meeting. If we don't have an August 24th meeting, how will the budget's session be impacted with the towns on September 9th?
So this board doesn't technically have a budget to approve until March. So I would say as long as department heads and commissioners are comfortable, and you're comfortable, and I'm comfortable, and we have the meeting with the towns and see where they are at. And then we have to approve sending the contracts to them. So there'll be
Yes.
time between the budget and that. I don't remember historically we've ever approved a draft budget as a board to talk to with the towns. No, it's
No.
always,
Just make it available.
We do usually try and discuss it at least, but it is pretty cursory and we could certainly send it around, right?
send it around and we can all engage in that discussion with the towns that night. It's a concern or a question.
And you can see in advance and communicate email about it to each other.
Right.
I'm all right with that. I don't know if
You got,
That's fine with me, and then we can have it the next, that just not even a week later at our board meeting if there's any final issues.
Right, so October is the big date for the
towns, right?
to have like
So if something comes up on the 9th, towns are making a request or this board needs to consider a change. We've got our meeting on the 14th. We really want to get that to them that week of the 14th and the 21st at the latest, so they can set their public hearing dates.
Yeah, okay, so I'm really gonna stick to that same timeline as if we are having this 24th deadline. And I'm feeling really good about it. It's been a great process so far. So late notices for taxes went out already. So just a reminder that anyone that's listening, right, village property taxes were due with no penalty at the end of June. Every month thereafter, there's a penalty schedule that goes up. It's listed on your tax bill. You can see that online. Please pay your taxes. I sent the 25-26 prep fiscal year items to the Twain, to our CPA, so we're in process of getting that buttoned up. You all just got June financials, and I'm seeking to finish up July financials this month, especially for the budget season. EV charger screen repair, that whole notion, it's repaired, it's been in use, but that whole notion that there might be an extra screen protector, like, doesn't exist. So it's not it's not a product on the market. It's something that we could have specially made by one of 3 vendors. Do we really have an appetite for me to explore that further?
do we have, we're thinking it's a rock that got spit out, right? presumably a mower or something like that.
That's what the manufacturer is presuming. I
Oh.
have lots of questions about how long has it actually been in the field, and glass is an interesting material. Was it a teeny tiny rock that happened or something? So yes, but that is what
That's what they
the
said.
manufacturer said.
So we can make shields that go around that or no?
Not and still have it be a functional touch screen, so this idea.
Oh,
of
yeah,
having
you gotta
A
touch it.
screen protector, which is brilliant, which is interesting that they don't have an extra, but I think the assumption is it's already a protected screen. It should be able to be out in reality.
Well, the other thing would be that if you do put something over it, would it void
Void the
whatever
warranty.
warranty it does have on it?
Yeah, cause I was thinking something that was bowed out that you could like reach up under and touch the screen, but it,
Oh,
if a rock went flying or somebody did some damage to it, it might protect it from that, but I don't know.
Repair completely covered by insurance.
Yeah, so let's just,
I would agree. I would let it go.
The screen protector, the bed, there. No, Lisa, I will present something more formally next meeting in September, but I'd like this board to consider, adopting a chargeback fee for checks that are bad checks. So we currently don't have one in place that I am aware of. The village of Dryden, the village of Broughton, and the town of Ulysses all charge $20 for return checks. It is a lot of hoops to jump through several different times in the financial process of receiving it, documenting it, tracking it next month, receiving a payment, like it's a lot of work.
how much are we charged?
We do not currently have.
Our bank doesn't charge for
Oh, our
bad
bank,
checks? Yeah,
our bank currently does not charge us the chargeback. But I can tell you that it's no less than 30 minutes to an hour to more, depending on what kind of chargeback check I received from my personal.
Uh-huh.
Deal with it.
Lord.
how many, has there been an increase or?
Yes, there were none for 3 years, and now there have been 4.
What?
You know,
That's,
also,
Sad.
it's, so it's like not a big deal, but it's interesting to me that we don't have a policy in place because everybody does.
Mhm.
And it is difficult for certain things, like say tax payments, is particularly sticky. $100 water bill is different than a tax payment. So something for you to consider, I'll bring that up again.
what's our late fee?
Late fee for what?
Like to pay your bill?
Okay, so water bills are 10% if you miss the deadline. The tax bills are 5, 7, 8. Is there a 9 and a 10? Depending on which month you, and then an extra fee if you don't pay by October 31st, and it goes to the county. You pay all of ours plus their fee. So it's more, I don't know, again, it feels like there should be something in place because we don't have it in for one of the people. Or villages that I
I'm
think.
fine with putting something in place if you wanna propose something like whatever.
Like right now.
I mean, not right,
Oh.
right now if you want to, or if you wanted to put something together for the next time.
Close it.
Was it, okay, I can't.
No,
That
you
one of
could,
you needs to ask if we could implement a $20 return check fee. A check fee. Return check.
I'll move that.
I will second with the friendly amendment that this would be for all charges that involve checks, not just water or sewer.
Yeah,
Taxes,
all that.
anything. So like mulch, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I feel like I need more time to think about this, 'cause, I mean.
We can also table it.
There are no bad checks, just checks that don't have sufficient funds to cover.
Right. And every business charges
check.
that
Yeah.
fee because they get charged by their
And
bank
the
for
bank
that.
could change their policy, they currently, because of the way our accounts are set up, don't, but other municipalities do get charged by their banks, so.
When I think it is actually worth being specific though, so this would be any return check.
Return check.
So whether it's insufficient fee or the bank account is closed and it's just the wrong account or whatever it is. It could be multiple things, but.
I don't think there's a reason not to.
I mean, I'd rather know why people are sending in bad checks.
Some of them valid, some less valid.
But
But I feel like we can also look into that, right? I mean, if we want to, doing this doesn't prevent us from also investigating, like, is there something out there that's endemic that we need to address separately?
right. I guess I'm just not into like stacking on fees. Because they would still, if it were returned, they would still have to pay a late fee.
No, not necessarily.
Why
one of
wouldn't
these-
it? Because it's
one of these
technically, it
checks
would technically be late.
bounced before the deadline. So you made a payment on the 6th, it didn't clear the bank on the 10th. You still have till the 31st to pay. But I still have to track this return check, track you down, find it, do the thing. It's not always because of me. See what I'm saying? In fact, 2 of them got that. Return.
Which villages currently charge?
I haven't found one that doesn't, but the Village of Groton, the Village of Dryden, and the town of Ulysses are around $20. Some other places are. That's high, and those places have a bank charge that
Ulysses is at 20.
is 20. Yeah.
What did we just propose in the motion?
20.
I can't think of a place that doesn't.
It doesn't even cover your time.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And
It's just a deterrent. I mean, it's just a.
Right, you're not supposed to write bad checks, period.
but it is also a reality. If my time is going to your personal and not to the village, I don't know, as a whole, it's not a good use. You have a hardship, you can call, discuss things. Make payment arrangements.
Yeah, and sometimes people have a whoopsie, and the people that are legit and have a whoopsie, they come in and go, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed, I'm so sorry. Let's fix this or whatever.
I think it's
So-
like, this is why the OSC says you're supposed to deposit funds within X amount of time.
Exactly.
Like, so all these things can
It's
happen.
rarely a hardship. It's often payment overlap. Payroll comes in, auto pays go out.
Yeah.
Some of your, I don't want to name any names, but some of your credit unions still don't auto draft the savings account associated with the checking account. So
Which
you
is
gotta go and
crazy
manually move
below.
the money, and you got to move the money, your check balance, yeah.
It's kind of amazing it doesn't happen. Put it done right at 4. And. They just have problems here.
I'm fine with it.
Good.
Other comments? So we had a motion, and who seconded that?
With a friendly, then I accept it.
Okay, so we have a motion and before us to institute a $20 insufficient funds / return check fee. Last comments? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed.
Any abstentions? Okay, anything else?
So my call is September 14th, I believe this is my last item. Which is our board meeting, so I will be zooming in. From far-flung places like Central Districts.
Okay.
And, yeah, that's it.
All right, item number 8, old business. We have a continued, I think, conversation. Question mark. About senior tax exemption.
Are we done yet? I think I'm introducing this local law so we can have a hearing. And schedule a hearing for it.
Oh, okay.
I assume that's the next step.
It is, and what I think, if I wasn't sure if you had the law ready, but
This
you
was
did,
after Jade's comments back.
Jay's comments have been reflected in this, yeah. So. Just to state, so. We're continuing to discuss tax exemption for low-income seniors. The state allowed us to give an even larger deduction for even lower income seniors essentially. And so what this law, the way I structured it was just to fully restate what our low income senior tax schedule is. And really what it sounds like the county real estate or county assessments office wants is we set a number and the rest of the scale just is based off of that. $1,000 above that is a different number. And so on and so forth, and $1,000 below and 2,000 below and so on. So really what they care about is that we have, this is still the same number that we set previously is $35,000 is the, if you make around that, it's 50% off.
Mhm.
And then what we're adopting is the ability to give 55%, 60, 65% for people below that. Before it was only people above that got 45%, 40, 35, so on and so forth. But this is just kind of restates the whole thing in one place, along with that specific number that they want to know. And so I think that this is what we need to pass, and we did send it back to county assessment, and that was their only one note was, please just be explicit, what's that number? And that number remains 35. We could decide to change that, but that's a whole other sort of conversation. I think I'm happy with it staying here and us just starting by adopting the greater reductions for people below that. So that's the law. And then I would introduce it. I don't know if that even needs a motion. We just hear it's in front of us, it's introduced. And then
As long as it's in the final form, we want to.
yeah, yep. And then this would be scheduled for public hearing in September.
September 14th. Yep, okay.
Okay. Considered introduced, public hearing date set. Next item of old business, EMS facility estimation bids. So we've been asking for a couple of years, why is it so expensive to build one of these things? But I will do it myself for $200,000. This is one of those steps that makes it more expensive. We have to have a formal third-party estimator hired to do the cost estimations before submitting it to bid. Once we get to that step, which is crazy. We have two companies chose to submit bids. A third declined to submit the estimation bid, but did indicate they wanted to actually bid on the project itself when we get there. And so we have estimating proposals from Wellever McGuire. I'm familiar with them. It's not opening up my iPad. And one from Hamilton Stern, which is in the Rochester area. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to look at it because I can't open these for some reason. So you have the numbers ready. The Hamilton Stern bid is for how much? 16,200. That is for
15-2.
15.2.
Oh, I can't read.
15-2.
It turns out it's important.
Just to be clear, there are two estimation steps, two different estimates. An estimate has to be done when the project is, I forget the exact percentage, 30 to 40% design completion. Then there's a second estimate done at 90% design completion once all of the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
And this includes both.
Hamilton Stern includes both estimates for both projects. Wellever submitted a separate estimate for the EMS building that has two quotes in it, or two estimates that need to be done. Separate estimate for the fire department renovation, also which has two estimating times. The combined Wellever quotes are significantly higher than the Hamilton Stern quote. MRB did say that they have worked with Hamilton Stern on a new fire department build in Victor or Pittsford, one of the Rochester suburbs, and we're very happy with their work. So they're not concerned about the differential between the quotes. MRB had estimated about 14,000 for estimating. So Hamilton Stern's a little higher than that. Welliver's
For each,
total.
for total.
It estimated 14 total. So Hamilton Stern is just slightly higher than that. Welliver's some multiple of that.
Oliver for each building is more than the combined. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And so with that said, we have two bids. We need to pick one, and unless there is a significant reason to not go with the lowest bid, I would entertain a motion to accept the EMS and fire department facility estimation bids from Hamilton Stern. If someone would like to move that.
So moved. Second.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? And then the last item of old business, at least that I'm aware of, we have already approved for MRB to do the architectural and engineering work. We approved that as part of their proposal, design and construction phase proposal a couple of months ago. What I need now is authorization for me to sign the standard form of agreement between owner and architect. It's something of a formality, but I did actually run it by Guy.
There's a lot in there.
Because it's so dense. Guy did have 2 additions to it, which MRB accepted. Everything else Guy said was fairly boilerplate. He did want a couple of statements added. Other than that, they're substantially similar between the 2 projects. And so I would, the 21st of July, so that's when we approved the proposal. So I would entertain a motion to authorize me to sign the AIA agreements between the Village of Trumansburg and MRB Group for architectural services related to the fire department renovation and the new EMS facility.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions? Hearing none, then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, any abstentions? Any other items of old business? Are there any items of new business? Suddenly we're back on time. Second public comment period.
I have to say, I really appreciate the DPW's work in the village. I know that villages north of us do not have leaf pickup, yard waste pickup, none of that. I just thought that was everybody had that, but I was kind of surprised to hear that. And with, and I'm also glad that they open up the dump, down there, because it seemed like whenever I got everything all packed up, it would rain and then the bags would fall apart. And now I can just go at any time I want. And I don't see anybody abusing the regulations of what they tell people that they cannot do. And then the other thing that I think is noteworthy is the sign in the new garden structure in front of the building. It's really quite nice, and the new plantings that I put in will get the water that I put there instead of it running into the sidewalk.
So good.
Yeah, I know, I really am liking that. So, big thank you to the DPW.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
to
you.
Thank you for all that work, Janice. If anyone online has a comment. Do we have need of an executive session? I think probably we should.
Yes.
I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for a DPW personnel matter as well as proposed or pending potential litigation.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Hi.
Hi.
Night, thanks, Rachel.
Night.
And good night, all.